in there.
Yeah. Let's just get this going. just cold as hell starting this thing off. All right. Welcome back to another episode of Pass the Barb. It is March 19th, Tuesday. We're recording this one a little bit late. And we are in the middle of some serious conversation as this is rolling. I got two of the boys with me tonight. We got Sam Sobi. What up,
Howdy,
brother?
folks. Well, without going into any further detail about anything that's going on tonight, we have one of our co-hosts, Dakota Ebare, on site doing some work, and he's at
in
the
the
Super
thick
8,
of it, as they say.
He's at the Super 8 motel, and right now he's creeping
down
to the pool.
He's got earbuds in. He's good. He's good.
And I think he said they were doing some jail room tattooing in there or something. If you're watching on,
you're gonna want to watch this on the YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No doubt. Oh,
he's checking it out.
Oh, okay. He's scoping out. He's scoping out a place to do the pod here tonight, folks.
Yeah.
This
Cody,
will do for me.
Are you in there? Are you alone? Can you speak?
No.
He's definitely not alone. Oh my God.
Oh,
what am I looking at here?
For all you guys listening on Spotify, I guess we'll try to clue in Cody. Cody's he's
looking at Menominee's finest, I believe, currently. He's on site in Wisconsin.
He's gonna have to relocate. But yeah, I guess we'll get things kicked off, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Pass the Barb, and we want to say thank you again, really quick, for making this the #1 outdoor podcast on the entire internet. We appreciate it because of your listening and your support, the commenting, the rating. Yeah, we have climbed the ranks from bottom of the barrel to holding the top ranked position. What is this, week 8 or 9 in a row? We're
at this
#1.
point, we don't even count anymore. It's just like what else is there? To be fully honest,
just held the spot.
Yeah. So things are going fantastic. If you can't tell already, but we are back for another one. Cody, while you're getting situated there, we're just gonna say, if you're listening to this podcast right now, please rate this podcast on whatever podcast platform you're listening to it on. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, our social media pages, everything. We got all kinds of fun stuff coming out there, and if you are not subscribed, we would love it if you were.
Yeah.
But we have a good show tonight. We got an awesome special guest coming to us pretty soon here, and we'll get. Cody's riding an elevator right now, so we're just going super smooth here, boys.
Cody, talk to us, Cody.
All right, now that you're out.
How's it going, everybody? Cody Hahner here. Special guest on the show. Bringing you in to Menominee, Wisconsin. I tell you what, the locals down there, pretty prime. You know, they got the Indian tattoos. They got a little barbed wire attached to them. Good God.
Some call that
everybody
tribal.
That's tribal. Fantastic, man. Fantastic.
What was going on in the Super 8 swimming pool? What were?
I don't know if it's okay to say on here, but
I think it is.
Yeah, a couple of big ass truckers are making out.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that everywhere.
No, just here in Menominee. Pretty solid.
Yeah.
Will you write a review at the Super 8 afterwards and let us
I
know?
would say it's a 3.2. 3.2. Not too bad. Pretty solid excursion up here in Menominee.
Not bad.
Not too bad.
Definitely our most random start, but I love it.
Okay.
I love it. That's how we're getting into it.
If you're still listening,
there's a lot of exciting things happening on and off the pod. This is Bassmaster Classic week, so I'm sure we're going to touch on that a little bit. But first off, let's get into current events. Let's get into St. Patrick's Day. It was just Ryan Pinkalla's birthday, by the way, so we're going to give him one clap for his birthday.
Let's go.
Yeah. And Ryan was just traveling, so kick us off. Cody and our current events are not going to be as cool as yours, so give him the low.
No,
all right. I'll keep this one short because we do, like I said, we do have a special guest joining us today. So maybe we'll do a little story time on the next pod. But yes, just got back from a little birthday trip down to Costa Rica. So that was super sweet. Never had actually been to Costa Rica before. So went down there on a little fishing mission. Me and my dad went down, and I was there for like 5 days. Beautiful place, by the way. Holy shit. If you haven't been to Costa Rica, you got to get there. Did some fishing, caught some species of fish I hadn't caught before, which was cool. I don't want to get too in the weeds on it, but yeah, definitely got in on a little bit of a popper bite, which was super cool. I hadn't done that before.
That's sick.
So we got in, took a pong out for a couple of days and got on a little bit of fishing down there. Did some beach missions. That went well too. Caught some fish off the beach, but it's a very fishy place. Super beautiful. Food's unreal.
What? Yeah. What about the food? Best or most interesting thing you ate when you're down?
So there's like a lot of street vendors down there, which is super cool. So there's guys cooking food like all over the place. There's some really cool restaurants too. But what was interesting is they kind of are like set up for like tourists for sure. So like there's one bar there. Literally they have like middle of Costa Rica was like 100 degrees every single day. They have like a hockey night, and there's like all these people from Canada down there for whatever reason.
Really?
So like, yeah, you're like sitting there down by the beach and they have like literally like hockey night happening some nights of the week. But I would say honestly, dude, the fruit was incredible because they grow like a lot of it in like that part of the world. So like even on the boat, like the guy would have like eat every day. He was like hacking up pineapples and stuff on the boat. I was like, this is legit, like crazy good. But I would say, yeah, there's a lot of like obviously a lot of seafood down there. So kind of just got all over the place. I wouldn't say there was like one thing that I was like, damn, this is definitely it. But yeah, just everything was like available all over the place. Like I said, that kind of the town we were in was Playa del Coco, which is like just south of the border of Nicaragua and Costa Rica. And it's just like a small town, like one main drag down the whole thing basically. And then like everything else outside of that is kind of like mountainous, jungly stuff, which was cool.
Nice.
So like driving around is super cool. And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, we can get into it maybe on another pod of just kind of like how everything went out. But I definitely filmed a little bit of stuff. So hopefully get a video out about this like Costa Rica fishing excursion or whatever. But yeah, super fun time. Highly recommend Costa Rica or anything around there. Like I know Panama is real popular too, which is like right by there. But yeah, absolutely beautiful, man. Crazy.
This is such a lame question for you, but how long is the flight from MSP to Costa Rica, or do you have a connection?
Yeah, so there it was like 5.5 hours, I think, direct flight, MSP to Liberia, which is
that ain't bad,
in Costa Rica. And then it was like there was like we jumped in this van and drove through like all the like jungly part to out to the coast. And but coming back, so we do like a lot of flying on, like standby or whatever. So we bought tickets on the way down, just make sure we got there. On the way home, we ended up not getting on the first flight out, which was supposed to go to Houston. And then we ended up flying to Denver from there and then hanging out there for a while. So we left Costa Rica at like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday, and I didn't get home till like midnight. So like almost 1 a.m. this morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like an all day, no doubt.
Did you work today?
So, I did.
Oh,
were you sucked?
Were you dragging?
Oh, dude, I was like energy drinks just nonstop. But yeah, but it was good. And then we found out too, like we didn't get on the one flight that went to Houston, and that flight apparently ended up getting diverted to Cancun, so they didn't even go to where we're trying to go. So we would probably got boned on that deal too. So whatever, it was all good, but we made it back. And yeah, always interesting traveling, no doubt. But like I said, awesome trip. And some other stories from that we'll get into later. But good stuff. Good stuff.
Hell,
what about you guys?
Super dope.
How about you, Cody? Did you go out on St. Patrick's Day? Did you drink some green beer?
No, sir. No, sir. I was working. Just strictly working.
Just working.
Working at the old glass factory. I tell you what, that is some shit. That is some bullshit.
So now tell me, in your opinion, is doing the electrical work at a glass factory worse than you think it is actually working at the glass factory?
Yes. There's certain people like I see it all the time, like they sit behind computers and stuff and they're watching the monotonous glass flow like just watching it roll by. Half the people are sleeping, like napping in their chairs. And then there's me. There's me. Fucking running, just ripping shit up, just going.
You're the man.
No, I don't know what the hell I'm doing in there. I have no idea. I know none, zero. But I'm trying the best I can up in there. But yeah, it's not fun.
Fair.
But we're trying to make the best of it. Trying to make the best of it.
All smiles coming from an
All smiles.
It's fine. It's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Good action.
What about you, Sobi? St. Patty's extravaganza?
No, I didn't do anything wild on St. Patrick's Day. I've been canoeing for crappies on Lake Minnetonka. Hayes's boat isn't finished getting work done, and my boat's not here yet or nothing either. So we've just been canoeing and trying not to get run over by the big yacht boats out there. And we scrounged some crappies and we killed them. So that was
Looked like a harvest.
Yeah, it was a good bounty. And honestly, like canoeing, I do so little of it, but like when you do it with a buddy and you kind of catching fish and it's the first time you're in a boat, you're kind of like, okay, it's pretty.
Yeah.
We're back.
We're back. And half the thing is like, because we are not like great canoers, right? And both Hayes and myself are fully grown men in a large, in not like a stable canoe. But when you go out and like you catch, that's fun. But then when you get back, you're like kind of like we made it, you know?
Right. Like we survived. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't. We're going under like the Grays Bay Bridge, the Arcola Bridge. Like there's waves going because you can't pick the weather.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we got back, we're like, oh, we so made it. but yeah, it was good. So other than that, yeah, it's classic week.
It is classic week. Bart is not here. I think is he fishing? Is that kind of what's going on or what?
I think I want to say he gifted his girlfriend Alyssa's dad a trip up to Lake of the Woods to slam dunk on some pike. So Adam is ice fishing, like that, which is wild to me, right? Like I definitely know he's got to be about done standing on water, but he's taking the in-laws up there to do some tip-up fishing. And I'm calling it now. I bet Adam doesn't set a tip-up, and I bet he doesn't take a flag. He's just going to sit there.
100%.
I would put any amount of money.
Yeah, no doubt. And then Stolski, also not here, still in Argentina. We don't have a diary of Wild Bill coming to you this week, unfortunately, but I do have some updates from Will. I was chatting with them today. And so they are in the thick of this stag hunting currently in Argentina. So far, they've had seven clients in camp. They've killed 5 stags in the past 2.5 weeks or so. Sounds awesome. Like they've had 7. They've had opportunities in every hunter. It sounded like they had a couple guys that just could not get it done. So I'm sure there's some good stories to have there. But the latest was they just had Jason Matzinger and company in camp in Argentina, and they shot a slammer stag down there.
And tell the folks who that is.
So Jason Matzinger is in the hunting industry, filmmaker, social media content creator, pretty well established personality in that world. So he does a lot of like actual filmmaking versus just like YouTube videos. But they just had him in camp. Sounded like they did film while they were there. So it should be exciting to see kind of that play out. And they did end up scoring. So that's super cool. Sounded like an archery hunt that went really, really well. So looking forward to that. Will seems pretty hyped about it. I think they may have done a little fishing after too. So sounded like maybe some like salmon fly fishing kind of stuff happening. Super cool. But he sounds hyped. And let's see if he said anything else here. Said not much else to report. Super busy between guiding and taking care of capes and skulls. So I think he's kind of in between, like he gets to guide a lot and absolutely doing all the dirty work too. So looking forward to more updates from him. I think he's still got a couple weeks left of this hunting deal, and then they're primarily fishing after that, but we'll see how it plays out.
And hopefully after kind of their stag hunting deal,
yeah,
it's obviously a wicked time difference between where he is in Argentina and where we're at, but like it'd be so sweet. I think he has Wi-Fi to get him on and just do like a full rundown update of what his life has been like. I think he's adjusting well down there, but the amount of stories I bet he has in 4 or 5 weeks already is just insane.
Yeah, and the Snapchats have been great, so I got to figure that things are going well.
Yeah. Cody,
But-
where are you at?
Yeah, he went dark again. All right, well, we'll get Hunter back here in a second, but there he
he's
is.
back.
Here we go. Here we go.
There he is. There he is. He's back. He's back. All right, you ready to rip, boys?
Let's do
So
it.
we got a few other things to talk about here, but we do have a special guest tonight, and we'll bring him in now. I think this will be fun to have him in for some of the rest of what we're about to do.
He's here. Is he behind?
He has showed up. He is here. The
Bring him
checks
in.
have cleared.
Bring him in. Bring him in.
All right, we're bringing him in right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from Brooklyn, Texas, the infamous Dakota Ebare, one of the largest rising stars in the professional bass fishing scene. But beyond that, he's a well-versed outdoorsman. He's a killing machine, and he's graced us tonight with some time, and we're excited to kind of talk everything from fishing to get different stuff about his life. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a round of applause, Dakota.
There he is.
Let's
Welcome
go.
to the pod.
Let's
Welcome to the
go.
pod.
Thank you for being here.
baby.
What's up, guys?
Making it on.
What's
Thanks
up?
for coming on.
Where are you and what are you doing tonight?
Man, I'm at the house. Actually, I'm like in the middle of cooking chicken, which I'm probably gonna burn in the middle of this, but it's okay. I got it on the pellet grill out there, and I got it set pretty low. So if we can knock this out in about 45 minutes, I might not.
Yeah, dude. And
So
if you need to go run and
That's
check
our
or do
plan.
whatever,
Oh yeah.
you
So
do
wait,
whatever you gotta do.
you got it on the pellet grill. So are you just straight up pellet grill mode, or are you charcoal, gas? What are you rolling over there?
Man, I I'm from Louisiana originally, but I'm not as good of a cook as I'm probably supposed to be. My family. So no, I'm kind of cheap. Got it out there, pellet grill. Got a little thermometer.
Little pellet grill action. I like that. Let's hey, just real quick, because we can edit part of this out too. Can you just check your Wi-Fi real quick? You were kind of sketching out there, but I don't know if that's on your end or ours. But
No, I mean it's showing full bars. I don't
Okay.
know. Is it
That's
clear
cool.
now?
Now it's good. Yeah.
yeah,
Now
it's
it
good. It might
sounds
have
good.
just been for a second, but it's all good.
Well,
All
what
right.
Dakota lacks in cooking skills per se, I just want to bring this up now. He is a phenomenal dancer. I think Cody and I were in the same.
Phenomenal.
What bar were we at, Dakota? And us boys from up north, like
Bar.
we don't know. Yeah, what was that? What was it? Where were we?
2017.
What place was it?
2017.
17? Really?
Long ass time ago. That was at the Classic, I think I think we were at Knoxville.
Yeah. That was it.
19,
That was it.
19. Yeah, it was the year Ott won.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was it.
And
That was it.
A bunch of folks just headed down to what place was it?
I don't know. Or like I don't what it's evidently a big deal around there. Everybody's like line dancing and stuff, and I don't know how to line dance.
Oh, come on. You were out there and you were cutting a rug, dude. You were tearing it down. You knew exactly what you're doing. And
You're like,
sitting there like,
oh, not a big deal. Let me show everybody
you were tearing
what's about to happen.
I didn't really know how to like dance like that, but then I quickly realized that you can't be sociable in Texas unless you do know how to dance. So I learned pretty quick.
I'm pretty sure that's just a natural case of the line dance in Texas.
No, I don't line dance in Texas much. That line dancing thing is kind of a Louisiana thing.
Well, hot damn.
It's more of like a 2-step, half-step, 3-step waltz. Like it's fun. Y'all going to the Classic this year?
I am yes. I am yes.
I'm not.
Gonna try to.
Yeah.
Will you be there?
Oh, I'm gonna be there for sure. Yeah,
Nice.
it's a fun. I'm definitely gonna be there. I'm actually leaving on Thursday. So, yep.
Hey, so
Mhm.
I assume maybe you fished Grand Lake before, but have you been to actual Tulsa, Oklahoma before?
Yeah, we had a Red Crest event there. I guess in 2022, and
Okay.
so we had all of the expo. It's a really good time. It's a cool place.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Ryan,
Right
do you still have good audio coming from Dakota?
What's that?
Do you still have good audio coming from Dakota?
It sounds sketchy on my end, but I don't know if it's just on mine or not.
me try these ear pods and see if that helps out any. I don't know if it'll work.
Yeah. And we can always maybe kick them back. I'll kick them back and just see if it works better.
We'll get it sorted here. I'm not worried about
All right, does this sound better? Does it sound better for y'all?
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, that actually does a lot.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Maybe that was it. Maybe it was just the mic. I don't know. Because
Yeah.
the video never like sketched out at all.
Yeah, I just have a lot of open space in here, so that might be why I was like echoing.
He's like, my place is just too damn big for this.
No, there's just nothing in it. Like, dude,
Yeah.
I literally, it's like the ultimate bachelor pad. Like, and it's kind of embarrassing because, like, man, I'm never here, so I don't have any decorations or anything. I got a couple deer heads on the wall over here, and that's about it. That's the extent of my decoration.
Okay, that's more
my
than just
gosh.
a couple.
Oh
That's
yeah,
more than
look at
No big deal.
Whatever.
just made $1 million of bass fishing. You know, I bought this place.
Dude, the deer
All
heads are incredible with the vaulted ceilings.
All right, we
Yeah,
got this technical difficulties all sorted out here, but we'll get into this stuff. So stoked that you're here tonight, and we got a lot we want to talk about with you. We got a few other segments we want to roll through, but we'd love to get your thoughts on some of this stuff too. So we I'll throw a couple segments at you just so you know kind of like what we're getting into. But right now we're going to do current events. And basically we just got some news kind of in the outdoor world that we come across that some of it's interesting, and we just like to share that stuff and just kind of get everybody's thoughts on it. So Sobi, do you have one you wanted to share?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Let's
Or
start
unless
with
you
Dakota.
do, you got
Let's
anything?
start Dakota. Do you got
No,
anything
good.
interesting that you found? That
He's like, absolutely not.
No, man, I'm good. I try to stay out of the you know, like obviously, you know, I kind of, you know, you got to stay in the loop, but man, I just try to fish and hunt and have fun. I try to stay out of all the drama and everything. You know, I just try to walk in my own lane over here.
That's
know?
fair. That's fair.
I got you.
All right, I got one. I
Let's
can
go.
throw it out there right now.
Yeah,
So,
kick it out. And I'll go
are you guys familiar with like what the Iditarod is?
Yes.
Heard of that?
Actually, I have heard of that.
Okay, so yeah, it's like a sled dog
Yeah,
race in Alaska, and so it's a 1,000-mile long race, and it just happened right like this past week, and I think it's still going on actually because it's like a 20-day long event. But the guy that won it was a big deal because this was his 6th time winning it, which is like the all-time record. Like he's the most winningest Iditarod racer ever. But the crazy part is, so he won it, but he had like 97 miles into the race. So like basically at the beginning, even though that's like crazy far, he had a moose get tangled up in his like dog sled train or whatever. And he had to shoot the moose. Like he killed it with a pistol. And then there's rules in the race that say if you shoot an animal like during the race, you have to gut it. So he like got a penalty because he didn't do a good job gutting this moose, which apparently there's rules about that. So even with this penalty, he won by like 4 hours.
Where does the Iditarod happen again? That's
It's in Alaska.
Alaska.
Okay.
That's
anyway.
a long ways from South Louisiana.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the race is 1,000 miles. But basically the news story was all about this guy. So whatever, one of his dogs ends up getting beat up. They have to airlift the dog to like a vet hospital or whatever. And he continues like the rest of the race. So another, 900 some miles.
But he still won.
Still won it, 6th time winning it. And it's crazy. His family is like, yeah, it's absolutely insane. And his family is like the most winningest family at this because like I think his dad has the record for the fastest ever finish, and his grandpa like won the first one ever of these like Iditarods or whatever. But this guy like lives for it, and just crazy story. I mean, I can't even imagine like being involved in something like that. But yeah, 1,000-mile race.
This dude's like the Ricky Bobby of sled race.
Yeah,
100%.
And then like has to gut a moose, and they're like, well, you didn't do a good job, so you get a penalty.
Well, I want to know.
But still won by 4 hours.
Did they roll back there and just like, because these are miles and miles, like these races are over a huge distance. Did they go back to where he killed the moose and they inspected it? I assume.
Yeah, I guess they go and they like pick up like the carcass or whatever because they like donate all the meat of like, so they must like kill stuff all the time during this race, or they literally have rules about it.
Wow.
Like in the like rules for the race, like, oh, you have to shoot a moose, you got to gut it.
Well, that's a good one. That's a good one. We'll parlay from that to what's going on in the world. This is random. One of our listeners sent it in, and it was kind of interesting. This is a news article from, I want to say, the Idaho Fish and Game, or it's on the Idaho Outdoor Life. State record tiger trout disqualified because angler didn't have a fishing license. That's what the title of this thing says. We'll put it up on the screen. But old-fashioned detective work revealed the man had bought his license after he caught the fish, then told the game warden he caught it at night. And this picture looks like it's at high noon. But can you imagine just ripping the freaking state record tiger trout, you turn it in, and you're like, oh, shit. I didn't even buy my fishing license.
It's really hard to like get away with stuff like that now because everything's so technologically advanced. Everything's time dated. Like, it's stamped. You can't. It's pretty hard to be an outlaw nowadays and get away with it. Kind of like the guy that killed the state record like in Ohio this year or something. What was it? The dude that killed that giant buck in Ohio that got in a lot of trouble over it or something. I think it was in Ohio. Yeah. It's just, man, in today's world, there's so many game cameras, so many technology is so advanced, which is a good thing, I guess. It's hard to be kind of a shady sportsman nowadays. We're X-raying fish now. I don't know.
No kidding. Have you had fish X-rayed before?
No, I haven't. But I mean, they can X-ray them if they want. But no, I mean,
he's like, I'm good.
I'm good with it, but that would be some crap though. Like, can you imagine weighing in a fish that you legitimately caught, and somebody else at a I don't know, a year ago had put a weight in a fish, and all of a sudden you got caught with it? Can you imagine that?
Yeah. And having to back down from that and be like, I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. Yeah, right. How you gonna explain that?
Yeah. Dude, it does make you think, even if you do something legit, if it's big news, it's going to be so under the microscope for a long time now.
Yeah. And the microscope is pretty sharp. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can get caught doing stuff you're not supposed to be doing, which in my opinion is, I guess, a good thing. But if you're innocent in a situation like that, I mean, that kind of sucks.
So thank you to that listener that sent that in. That was just kind of interesting, I thought. And that's just a random one. How about you, Cody?
I guess this is more of a question to Dakota, which we'll probably get into more detail later. Do you think the Classic on Grand is going to be won by Live Scope or no?
Man, it's at a time of the year where it doesn't have to be won by Live Scope. Somebody can win it without, And what's interesting about that is that it's hard to say because, everybody it's a hot topic and we want to make a bunch of drama, stir the pot. Because everybody wants to get clickbait on this kind of stuff. But the reality of it is nobody wants to talk about the tournaments that are being won without it. I fished the Open at a Ouachita, and a local guy there blows us all away and wins the tournament. And he's throwing a freaking rattle trap up shallow, spot lock, casting towards the back of the boat. Not even using Live Scope, but nobody talks about that. And that's on a lake that's dominated by Live Scope. I mean, that lake's set up perfect to be a Live Scope event, and it was won without it, and no one talked about it. So it's interesting to see, what I'm saying? Because it wasn't, it's not cool to talk about the fact that he won it without it, because it would be way more dramatic if we talked about it if it was won with it. So it's interesting to see, how that stuff goes. But as far as Grand Lake, definitely, it could be won without Live Scope for sure, 100%. It could definitely be won with it. It'll be interesting to see how that goes.
It's nice that it'll be a toss-up.
Yeah. Have you fished Grand Lake this time of year before? Dakota?
Yeah, I have. Usually it's kind of like a pre-spawn deal, I've never fished it with Live Scope at this time of year. But I've done well there, just kind of, fishing really shallow, pitching it shallow cover with a jig, throwing a square bill, stuff like that. And I like Grand, man. The Grand's a cool place. It's very challenging, but there's big fish in it, and it's a good tournament lake. It's a very challenging tournament lake, but I feel like it always produces good events,
Yeah.
It may not be record numbers, but it'll be a good tournament. It'll be interesting to watch.
Was the water high when you were there? And then is the water high right now? I haven't even.
I haven't looked either, but I fished it when it was high and I fished it when it was low. I fished it when it was normal. I've actually been to Grand quite a bit, and it just sometimes when the water's high, it's really good. Sometimes it's kind of tough. This time of year, it's all about what stage of the spawn they're in. I mean, they're going to be wanting to spawn for sure soon, but I would imagine that most of the fish will still be pre-spawn, which could kind of set up for a guy to be able to live scope them and stuff. But I did kind of get word that from somebody the other day. I don't remember who it was I was talking to, but I said, if somebody could find them in the middle of a creek or something, it could be a live scope deal and they could blow it away. And they were like, well, we know guys that are really good at that, and locals, and they haven't been catching them like that here lately. So I don't, that might not even be true, but I think a lot of those fish are going to be going to the bank.
Yeah. Because it seems decently warm down there, right? Like 60s and 70s.
I mean, I'm at Rayburn, and it was like 35 this morning. So
really?
I imagine it was pretty cold up there, right now. But like it gets to a point, we're fixing to get into April, I mean, this fish, it doesn't matter. It's kind of like deer, like it gets to a certain point that first week of November, it's time to do their thing. And although we might not see it, it might happen at night. Them deer, whenever those does start coming rut, they're going to do their thing. And I think fish are kind of the same way.
Yeah, it's more calendar
sure.
year, you think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is a super good segue. So Dakota, as part of like our podcast, we do fantasy fishing. We all got picks for the classic coming up here, and you guys just want to burn through our picks here. And Dakota, like, who do you think? I mean, I don't know if you do fantasy fishing or not, but
you should do it, dude. It takes 5 seconds. You just go in there. You should join our little group. It takes 5 seconds.
Yeah. But if you had to pick somebody to win the classic, who are you taking as your classic pick?
Man, it's hard to pick somebody on the bass side because for me, like they're a lot more turnover on winning and stuff over there. There's no one that's like just super dominant on that side. Like if you look at an MLF Bass Pro Tour event, like there's about 5 guys you're going to pick and you're going to have a 1 in 5 chance of winning or of picking the right guy. At BASS, like I feel like with the Elite Series right now, there's a lot of guys that could potentially win that event. So it's hard for me to like narrow one down and pick one.
Pick
you have to
pick 5. You don't have to play favorites. just pick 5. Pick 5.
Is Christy fishing it?
Yeah.
He is.
Yes.
All right. So Christy, I'm not betting against the guy, right?
No.
I think Milliken, man, he's fishing really good right now. If there's a live scope deal to be found, he could definitely, he could be really good. I'm not going to bet against Brandon Polnick at any time. So that's let's go there. Luke Palmer, gotta. I mean, he's a local guy, right?
Yeah.
He's got to have a lot of experience on there.
Mm-hmm.
And who else? Shoot, I don't know. Jeff Gustafson. He's like fishing. Let's go with him.
All right. I like that.
That's a solid lineup. That's a solid lineup. I like that. I'll burn through mine real quick. So I actually had a couple of the guys you picked too. So I went Jason Christie, Ben Milliken, Kioya, and then I picked Cooper Gallant and Tyler Williams. I had to throw a couple live scopers in there because I was like, come on.
Yeah.
Like
Coop is awesome, man. I would love to see him win.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Sobi, who do you got?
I've got and this is it was tough in bucket A. So like in fantasy fishing, they give you a bucket, like you get to pick out a bucket A, B, C, D, E, and you get like a select few guys in each bucket. And in bucket A was Jason Christie, and I really was going to go with him, but I figured a lot of people were going to choose him, so I went with Kyle Welcher. I think he's, he can shallow grind, and he's a well-versed angler. Bucket B, I went with Milliken. He's fishing great, and obviously I think he could definitely win. C, Jay Shakirik. He's so consistent, and for some reason, I don't know, I could just see him popping it. Obviously, he's good with electronics, but he can shallow grind. D, Taku Idu. He could pull some stunts, and obviously he's super good at live scope. And then young gun Kyle Patrick. He's been pretty consistent, had a good start to the season, and he's a good scoper as well.
I think that's a good lineup.
That is
boys, checking the chicken, boys.
I'm
Checking the chicken.
Check that chicken.
Oh yeah.
Give us a look. Give us a look. Turn it around.
Give the. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Man,
Fantastic.
ain't mad at it. Ain't even a little mad at it.
no, I burnt the shit out of my hand though.
He did it for you. All right, Hunter, who do you got?
All right, so I kind of went local boy on this one, but first of all, I picked my father
Obviously.
from another mother, Jason Christie, obviously, for Group A. Group B, my stepbrother, John Cox, and then my youngest child, Jay Shakurik, for Group C. Group D, my stepchild, Cody Huff. And
Keeping
then,
the family.
yep, Group E, Adam Rasmussen.
Ooh.
Hooking
Okay.
up. Let's go, Ras.
Sturgeon.
Let's
like it.
go.
I think
Sturgeon
we're
Bay
we're pretty
legend.
spread out here. I think somebody's either gonna run away with this or get absolutely curb stomped.
Yeah, I'm going to get fucking rocked.
So I will say we'll get into a little bit more here about fantasy fishing, but we did get a confirmed for the winner of our fantasy fishing group. So anyone that is in now or would like to join the Pass the Barb fantasy fishing group, confirmed Horn Dog Maps will be giving away a free laser cut map to the winner of our fantasy fishing group.
Let's go. Horn dog,
So,
baby.
Now there's some stakes on the line for anybody that wants to join the group, but it is confirmed. Horn Dog Maps, thank you for giving us a giveaway for that, and somebody's gonna win it.
Fantastic.
So
Fantastic.
I guess Dakota, is for like fantasy fishing, the tiebreaker is always like guessing the closest to the overall weight. What do you think it's gonna take on Grant to take home the classic?
3-day derb. How many pounds a day in a 3-day derb on Grant right now?
Man, the weather has a lot to do with that. Like, man, if it's good weather and they can fish, like 20 a day, 60 pounds. You know, right now, right now with the way fishing is, like, man, it's so hard
Yeah.
to call that because, you know, with live scope and how good we've gotten with it, sometimes whenever it aligns, like, man, you might say it could take as much as 70 pounds, 75 pounds to win at Grand Lake this week if the right guy finds the right deal. And
Damn.
our fisheries are doing really good right now. Like, everywhere is fishing good. Like, the weights at Santee, the weights at Gunnersville, the weights at Rayburn, like, weights have been crazy good. And that's because we've gotten better as fishermen over the last, you know, couple years. But also, I think, you know, we've done a lot of, there's like all of our DNR agencies and stuff have worked really hard, and like people are getting a lot better at conservation and all that. But aside from all that, like, you just never know. Like, here at Rayburn, like, it could take in a 3-day derby, it could take 80 pounds to win. It could take 62. It's hard to really, and I feel like that could happen at you know, at Grant. I don't think you'll see a guy catch 30 pounds a day and win. I think 60 could be a good number there, but it could be as low as 55, 54, you know, and as high as 70. You know, it just depends. It's crazy. Like right now, it's hard to really pick that.
That should make it exciting to watch, though, because like if somebody does find them, they're probably going to blow the doors off it, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they could. They definitely could.
But in the same sense, it could be super grindy too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could see guys doing a bunch of weird stuff just to get a bite.
Yeah, Graham's never easy. Like, it's never easy.
No. No. It is not easy. I know, Dakota, you were fishing that event back in like 2018 or 19, that FLW event. Do you remember that?
I did. Yeah, I did. Yep.
Did you, how'd you do in that event? Did you make a check?
Yeah, I did. I think, I don't remember when I finished, like 30 something, you know, whatever.
Dude, that was grimy.
It was. Like, if you got 6 bites a day, you had a good, you know, you had a good day. I don't even know that I weighed in a limit both days. I fished 2 days. I don't think I made the cut. I don't remember what the cut was then. I think it was like top 30, and I think I probably finished like 35th or something, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really know. I got a check. Like, I got a $10,000 check on that one, but I don't I don't think I don't even know that I weighed in a limit both days. Like I had some good
Yeah.
ones, but I probably had, like 28 pounds or something in 2 days and finished 35th or something. I don't. I may be off on that a
That
little bit,
may
but
that may have been a long shot. That may have been a long
yeah,
shot.
yeah. It was something like that. Like it might have been that.
Grimy.
Yeah, yeah.
Grimy though. That lake can be
It can,
beat you
but
down.
it's got big ones in it. Like
It
you just
does.
never
It
like
does.
there's a 7-8 pound factor that and it's fun. Like the average fish there is pretty good when you can figure out how to get
It
big,
does.
And it's cool as hell because it could be 35 degrees, freezing ass cold. You can't feel your hands and you're flipping a jig in 6 inches of water and it's shit
Yep.
mud and it swims off and it's a 6-pounder. It's kind of a cool bite. Like it really is. It's a cool place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be an exciting one to watch. But now that we got you on here, I don't want to talk about any of these other anglers. We want to talk about you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So coming from a guy that has had a pretty successful career on the MLF side of things, and now literally just pulling up stakes and just giving her on the BASS side, we just kind of want to get into that a little bit. I mean, you've so far been having a pretty good season, and I don't know how these other events set up for you looking down like the rest of the schedule, but kind of where you at now. I mean, you're sitting pretty dang good in the points, and I mean, I got to think for a guy that's trying to run down the Elite Series right now and sitting where you're at now, it's got to be a pretty good feeling to at least be like in the game.
It is, man. Like it really is. Like, and it was kind of weird. Like, dude, I worked extremely hard to get to where I was at with Major League Fishing, like extremely hard. And then to just, pull up stakes and just walk away was like when I got to Okeechobee, that was, and like they were at Toledo Bend, and knowing that, like, man, I felt like I could have had a really good event at Toledo Bend. I was like, damn, man, like this is, man, this is, I can't believe I did this. You know?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you had those feelings for sure.
Yeah, it was mixed. Like when I seen the picture of everybody like at the pre-tournament meeting, and I was like, man, I'm not there. And it was almost surreal. Like it was almost like, damn, did I fish against those guys? Like, did I actually do that? Like, and I know that sounds weird. It's hard for me to really like to say that, but I don't know. It's almost like man, was that a dream the last couple of years? Like, did that really happen? So there's been a lot of mixed emotions that went into like my decision and doing all that. But I'm very, I'm having a lot of fun this year, so far, and obviously doing well helps with that. But hell, I was in last place at Okeechobee after day one. And was fortunate to have a good second day, come back and finish the event in 31st place or 32nd place, something like that. But I'll say this. I felt like it was the right thing for me to do at the time. Just with everything going on, man, I just want to fish and enjoy the sport, have a positive impact on it, and represent the people that support me well. Like that's what I want to do. And I felt like it was the right decision for me to make at the time. And I'm very happy that I made the decision that I did. Just looking at kind of some of the things going on and stuff. Like I said, I just want to enjoy the sport and have fun. And putting myself back in the opens after I'd worked so hard to get to where I was at, it really kind of it's making me kind of dig down deep again and have to earn my way in a new organization. So it's kind of like I'm starting all over again, but it's good because it's kind of relit that fire. You know what I'm saying? Like I got to earn my way again. So I'm back to grinding and working my ass off and fishing as many tournaments as I can and staying fresh. And it's changed my perspective, but I think it's going to make me a better angler at the end of the day.
So having been on like both formats like super recently, like what I mean, do you feel like the competition is like different coming into like the bass side of things or not really?
No, I'll say that I think it's the same on both sides. If you look at the top 20 in points right now on the Bass Pro Tour guys, they're like all the new guys are up there. All the guys that have come in the last couple of years. And you look at the Elite Series right now, Trey McKinney just won the other day at Lake Fork. I mean, Ben Milliken's doing really well. Like, we whenever Bass or whenever MLF did their thing in 2018 or whenever it was 19, and like nothing has really changed in the sport for a while. It seemed like we kind of reached a stalemate where there wasn't, like, the Elite Series kind of brought a couple new guys in, or brought some new guys in to fill those spots and stuff, but like it seems like right now there's a big youth movement in the sport with a lot of talent, right? Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Mhm.
new guys that are finally reaching those higher ranks, and they're starting to kind of take over. And we haven't had that in a sport in a long time. If you look at it, like, you've got these old school traditional names that have dominated the sport for a long time, and right now there's everybody's going like, who's this kid? And he's like dominating, and like they're good. They're very damn good. So I feel like there's finally like a turnover in the sport where like there's a lot of young talent coming into it, and it's exciting to see that for me, because I support like a performance based professional tour, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and I
Absolutely.
hate
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I don't mean that. I don't mean any disrespect on guys that have built the sport literally on their backs, like legends of the sport, like Zell Rowlands and the Roland Martins and all those guys, and the Rick Cluns of the world. Like we wouldn't be here today if it wouldn't be for those guys, right? But I use this example, and I'm not going to get too long-winded on this because I could easily offend people on this, and I don't mean to. But like, let's take Joe Burrow for example. Joe Burrow doesn't want to play against Drew Brees right now. It would be cool to say that he played against Drew Brees, but Drew Brees has had his time. He dominated the sport, changed the sport, made the sport better. He had his place in it. But Joe Burrow doesn't want to line up against Drew Brees right now. He wants to play against Patrick Mahomes every year in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. And I don't mean no disrespect by that, but there's a lot of young guys in this sport that have an extreme amount of talent, and the organizations have kind of in the past set it up to where we didn't support them making their place in the sport, and now we're starting to see a little bit of turnover, and it's exciting. You know, it's exciting to see these young guys like Trey McKinney doing so well. I think it's awesome, because at the end of the day, that's actually growing the sport. And if the sport grows, the sponsors are going to do better, the organizations are going to do better, the anglers are going to do better, and the fans are going to enjoy it more. And that's what I support. So like, it's an interesting time right now in the industry.
That's like a really good perspective though on like kind of this whole like movement of like a lot of young English coming in that I don't think we've like really heard before. I think at least on my end, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess with like this kind of what you're doing now, I've been kind of following along this Kings of Bass series that you're doing. So like what kind of got that spurred off, I guess?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just very fortunate to work with Strike King and Lose. I mean, they're a great company. They produce great content. They have a great production team, and I'm just like, I'm blown away that they want to work with me. You know, I mean, I'm the guy that's been watching that stuff the last several years, and now they're like, hey, we want to do this with you, and I'm just like, really? Sweet. Oh, hell yeah, dude. It's awesome.
The videos are awesome, by the way.
They are so good, and I mean, I don't like, dude, I'm not good. They're good. You know, they're good at making me good. You know what I'm saying? But and there is a really good storyline there, you know, that we're getting to cover. And I pray every day that I end up qualifying for the elites and it all works out. And if we get to capture that journey through the Kings of Bass TV series this year, like, how cool is that going to be? You know, and even if I don't make it, it's still going to be a cool story. So they're splitting time between me and Tristan McCormick. And Tristan's, you know, doing the same thing I'm doing, trying to make that path to the elites. And they filmed with him last tournament at Santee Cooper. And then at Logan Martin, they'll be with me. And we'll kind of split time throughout the year until like the last couple events. And I think they'll be with both of us. So it's kind of a fun deal, but man, it's a lot, dude. It's a lot because here I am, like, I mean, you got 5 days of practice, a couple days of tournament. You know, there's a lot on the line. Plus, I'm trying to do my own social media stuff, and it's a lot. But it come at a really good time because I'm working with Bass Pro Shops and other companies now, like, and they're like, all right, man, you're not fishing the Bass Pro Tour. Like, we expect you to be at the top level. So, you know, if you want to qualify for the elites, like, go ahead, but you need to make it happen quickly. So being able to
Mhm.
do this other stuff like Kings of Bass is kind of helping me in this year where I'm not really at the top of the sport, you know. So
Yeah.
it's perfect timing for me, really, in my business.
Well, it's exciting to watch. Like when these video series kind of take off and like gain traction, it's kind of just cool to see like the following grow and just kind of see where it kind of it guides itself. But so far, it looks like it's doing really well. So
Yeah, it's
stoked
been a lot of
to
fun.
keep watching.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, I appreciate y'all following along for sure.
And it's cool because like it's truly like that's like truly reality TV. You know what I mean? You guys aren't gonna be like, I wonder if he makes it. You know what I mean? Like you don't know. You don't know.
No, I don't.
Tristan doesn't
We
know.
don't-
You guys are
Mhm.
just
No.
going out there and you're giving it the freaking onions. And
Yeah, absolutely.
whatever they capture in your story of how your season goes, that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool to see how it all turns out. And truthfully, that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm not doing the best job with it right now. I haven't really done a whole lot with social media throughout my whole career. We live in this world today where everybody thinks that like you need to be famous on social media, become a professional bass fisherman. And for me, I just never looked at it like that. Like I want to earn my way on the water. And then once I finally like earn my place in the industry on the water, then then I'll do the social media thing. And that's
Mhm.
not the easiest way to do it. But for me, it was hard for me to go make videos on throwing a 6XD on Rayburn when nobody gave a shit why I was throwing a 6XD on Rayburn because I'd never proved myself with a 6XD on Rayburn. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like that was in my head of why like I didn't do a lot on social media until I felt like I needed to earn my way. But now we're at a point where like I know that people want to follow along and I have companies that want me to put that stuff out there. So I'm trying to transition into that. Like I know Sam, like you've killed it with that, dude. Like I follow you like in your social media stuff and it's been phenomenal. And I'm really like you're going hunting with me one day. We're gonna film some of that stuff.
Dude, yeah.
I'm just saying. Like I
Okay.
don't know how we're gonna work this out, but
That is a perfect transition to, and we'll get back to some.
Wait, time out.
Yeah.
So if people want to follow along with this Kings of Bass thing, how do they do that?
So it's Kings of Bass is on YouTube. That's the channel. It's Kings of Bass TV, and so you can follow along with that. And then my stuff is all Dakota Ebare Outdoors. So like I have my YouTube, I have my Instagram, I have my social media, and I do a little bit with TikTok, not nearly as much as I should. But so that's how you can follow along with all of that.
All right, perfect.
But just kind of what you said, even talking about hunting, we're gonna keep some stuff on bass fishing, but I want to touch on hunting. Dude, you're such a hardcore hunter. And even your OG videos on YouTube are just like your Instagram stories, you canoeing back in random places and just going way back into random places, dude. And like, I follow a variety of people from the Midwest that kind of hunt that style. You know what I mean? But I don't know a lot of people down south that hunt the way you do, kind of just aggressive public land hunting or just aggressive hunting in general. You're very mobile. And I feel like you were hunting mobily before, that was super cool. How long have you been a hardcore hunter and kind of what's your journey been like there?
Man, my whole life, like honestly, like I've always I've just always loved the outdoors. I've always loved hunting and fishing, and it's always been like a big time passion of mine. And like I seen the writing on the wall in the fishing industry, and I was like, okay, maybe I have a place in this. Lead to me also being involved in the hunting industry somewhere down the road. Like I joke around all the time and tell people that I fish to hunt. But it's kind of true. I mean, honestly,
that's awesome.
Like there's also other goals and stuff there, but I hadn't found out a way to make a living fishing or hunting yet. So we're gonna just whatever. But man, like I enjoy doing it the hard way though. Like that's always been my thing. Like man, I've always just enjoyed hunting public land and stuff. And like I'll say this, like. I always dreamed of like going hunt these places all over the country and doing certain things and stuff. And then like I grew up hunting in South Louisiana where we didn't have a lot of deer. We didn't have big deer. Like, and it was kind of a, it was tough hunting. It really was. But that really was, I didn't care. Like, I didn't care if I only saw one deer in a weekend. Like, I just loved being in the woods. And now, like, I'm very fortunate that I've met a lot of people that are like, hey man, you come hunting with us. We'll bring you to our ranch. We'll do this. We'll do that. And like, I love going and hanging out with people and stuff, but like, that isn't necessarily what I do it for. I like going to a public land tract that I've never been to before that no one's told me about. I go in there, I scout it out, I figure it out, and I kill 125-inch deer with my bow, and I'm on top of the world. That's what means the world to me because I figured it out. I did it on my own, and it's gratifying to me. And that's the same thing when it comes to fishing. And I think it's helped me be successful. Like, I don't want you to give me waypoints on Logan Martin and tell me where to go fish when I get there at the end of April. I want to go figure it out myself. It's going to make me a better outdoorsman. It's going to make the whole thing more gratifying for me. The hunting thing is just like, I fish my ass off from January till August, and then it's time to go hunt. And I use the same mental approach during the fall as I do during the spring and summer. And I feel like it kind of helps you, honestly, along the way. Like, hunting public land and fishing tournaments is very similar.
Absolutely,
very similar.
it is. Yeah,
very similar.
So
Yeah.
I would just to throw him under the bus because he's not here. I gotta say, so Bart had a hot take on our last podcast. He was ranting about this whole live scope thing, and was kind of burning a bunch of the guys that say that they fish during the season, and then in the fall they spend a ton of time hunting and they're not on the water. And I would just like to point out that you just said that you do exactly that, and you're just torching people. So any defense there, Bart has none.
Well, I actually have been fussing at myself the last couple of weeks, though, because I feel like, I've had a good season. I mean, it's been okay, but I feel like it's been mediocre. And I'm looking at myself going, man, if I'd have spent, some more time on the water in the fall, in the off season, I probably would be a little bit more prepared right now and probably be fishing a little bit better. Time on the water is invaluable, and like, I was talking to somebody today, I was like, man, I don't remember the last time that I went out just fun fishing, not in a tournament setting or practicing for a tournament, to where I was able to work on new techniques and work on this and work on that. Like, it's always a tournament setting. So I'm not going to go out there with a bait that I've never used in a tournament, like, or in practice for a tournament. I'm doing stuff that I'm confident in. But there's so many new techniques and new baits and new this, new everything. Like, I've got to find out a way to, like, I need to work on this stuff. Because you look at Ben Milliken, Ben spends a lot of time. I kind of follow along loosely with him, but like, he spends a lot of time, like, literally preparing for. I know he spent a lot of time preparing for this Elite Series season. Live scoping every damn day, like, trying new baits, doing this, doing that. I can tell he's very dialed on what he's doing.
absolutely.
Me, I'm kind of winging it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, I'm trying to be and that's helped me because I fished off of intuition, right? Pretty much my whole career. But you can definitely get dialed in too on some things and help you be successful. So it's just a fine line there,
Well, you didn't help support my point there.
No,
Sorry.
don't keep staying in the woods. You got to do that. You got to do that for the mental reset.
I will,
Just
for
your own
sure.
passion, your heart. You got to do that.
It is, man. Hunting is such a passion of mine, man. I absolutely love it, and nothing will ever replace that, for sure.
Do you think you fish? Not that we're going to go off in this live scope tangent, but do you think you fish a little different now with live scope opposed to how you had earlier success fishing without it? And I'm not just talking just the technology. I'm talking, like you just said, you kind of like to fly at the seat of your pants almost, and you can make gut decisions and wing it. Do you feel like you still have that same approach? Do you do that, or do you stick it out in areas a little less or a little more? I guess you know what I'm saying.
Well, no, 1,000%. No, I do definitely fish different now because of live scope, in a way, but I'm able to fly by the seat of my pants more efficiently and effectively because of live scope. Like, I'm not changing the way that I'm fishing, essentially. I'm just doing it more effectively with the technology that's available.
It's a truth seeker, right?
Yeah, like, I'm not
Like,
forgetting about
it tells
what I
you the
know.
truth.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you can get tangible, real results from what you're doing, and you can use that into the equation of trying to be in the right place at the right time. So,
Sure.
I mean, like, all this about, well, this kid's just using live scope. He wouldn't be able to catch a cold if he didn't have live scope. Sometimes, but for the most part, the guys that are successful over long periods of time, like, you take Drew Gill, for example. Drew Gill is a good fisherman, okay? Has he done it with live scope? Yeah, he has.
but I promise you, he has a very good understanding of bass, their behavior, the ecosystems they live in, and he's a good fisherman. Like, he's not just a guy out there looking at live scope, just accidentally running in a bass everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Will he
Yeah.
be very successful without it? I don't know. But I'm telling you right now, the guy's a good fisherman. You know, I think that he would probably, and that's it. Like, even though, yeah, these kids that are coming up right now that are being so successful, like, they're doing it with live scope, but they put in the time, and it's just what's available right now. If live scope wasn't around, they would have put in that amount of time doing something else, and they'd be successful in that way. At the end of the day, the people that put the most into this sport, that have the most talent, the most natural ability to find bass day in and day out, and to put in the most effort, are going to be successful, whether or not you have live scope in there or not. It is what it is.
That's a good point.
And
I was just saying,
go
like,
ahead,
I think
Ryan.
that's a good point, because, like, I think there is this, like, conversation where people are saying, well, they're live scoping and they're catching all these fish and they wouldn't be able to do it without it. But at the same time, we're like, we don't know that. Like,
Yeah.
that's just how they're catching them right now.
Well, would the numbers be down or something? Yeah, like, you may not catch as much, or the weight may not be as high, but at the end of the day, the guys that are putting in the most effort are going to be successful. Like,
Right.
It just is what it is. And what's bad is that, like, you've got all these anglers that haven't been successful in 10 years of bass fishing that are now, like, all of a sudden leaning on this live scope crutch, saying that's the reason why I'm not being successful. And they're
Yeah.
beating down all this new talent and all this youth movement. Like,
Yeah.
how ridiculous is it right now that we have the biggest youth movement in the sport? We have the biggest youth movement in the sport that we've had in 20 years. And we got guys that ain't caught a damn check in 20 years beating these kids down, saying that, well, you don't deserve to be here because you're catching with live scope.
But their sponsorship shows different, right? Like,
What do you mean?
I'm saying, like, their sponsorship dollar shows different, that they are actually a big deal compared to these kids that are actually catching them, compared to these guys that are like, well, what? Like,
Yeah,
like,
here's
say,
the reason-
tell me wrong.
Well, here's the reason why those guys are throwing a fit like that, because they realize, shit, I ain't caught them in a long time, and these
Yeah.
kids are freaking catching the hell out of them, and they're good at social media, and my sponsorship dollars are fixing to leave me and invest in them because they're moving product, and
Yeah.
I'm not. And my gravy train here is about over, so let's go ahead and stir up a bunch of crap to try to. And I'm sorry, I'm calling balls and strikes. Y'all know damn well that's what it is.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Balls and strikes. I'll take that one.
It is what it is.
No, Dakota, you were talking about, like, you know, working hard and, like, just because we've known each other since what, 2018? I want to say
17. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, right.
17, 18.
Yeah.
And we were kind of on the same wavelength of, like, not doing social media, just grinding it out, whatever.
Right.
But, like, you put an enormous amount of effort into just tournament fishing. Could you relapse on, like, how many tournaments, like, what's your max number of tournaments that you've fished in a year, just to give people a scope of, like, what we're talking about here? Because you fish an enormous amount of tournaments.
I really don't know. I think probably 25, 26, like, you know.
Which is ridiculous for the people listening.
And that's not like, that's like Toyota Series Invitationals, you know.
Yeah, that's not little dick shit. That's big
not
dick
Tuesday
shit.
nighters.
Yeah, that's
No.
not Tuesday nighters. That's freaking.
If you include Tuesday nighters, probably like 30, you know. I can look. I'm not gonna say nothing today, but there isn't anyone that's fished as many tournaments as I have in the last.
I guarantee it.
Years.
I guarantee it. Because it would be a Bassmaster Classic on a Thursday, and you're like, "Oh man, I gotta go practice."
But
like, practice what?
That has been a direct, like, halfway to my success. Like, no doubt about it. Like, man, I'm just a kid from Louisiana, like to fish. Like, I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wouldn't have been for the amount of events that I've been in. And I, like,
100%.
And this kind of contradicts what I said earlier, but if you're not in that amount of tournament, like, so we're all good fishermen. I'm sure there's a lot of great fishermen out there. But what separates good fishermen from good tournament anglers and successful tournament anglers is the decisions that you make between 7 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Take off and check in. And if you're not in those tournament situations, making those decisions under pressure on the fly, having the fish by the seat of your pants and being good at it, then that's what separates guys from being good anglers. The guys that win practice all the time and the guys that win tournaments all the time.
Yep.
Or at least catch checks all the time, because I don't win tournaments all the time. I've only won 2. So
No, you get checks all the time.
Well, and I don't like that though. I'm not complacent with that. Like I want to win everything. I'm not okay with it.
Yeah.
But it's not easy. Like that just goes to show you. Like look how many tournaments I've fished. Look how much I've put into it, and I've only won a Toyota Series and an Invitational. Like yeah, we've won a lot of money along the way, finished the second and everything. But at the end of the day, that's not good enough for me, and it just goes to show how hard it really is. But it's just part of the process, I guess. You know.
But would you explain like your mindset? So we were talking Okeechobee. So you had a shit first day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I saw your name down there. I was looking through the screens, and I'm like Dakota Ebare, like 100 and whatever it was, and I'm like, guaranteed to get a check. guaranteed to get a check.
Dude,
like he is going to come up with 24, 25 pounds. Like that motherfucker ain't got nothing on these.
Perspective is such a hell of a thing, because everyone's like, oh, you got it. But in my mind, I don't got it. Like I do in the back, way back there, I got it somewhere. But dude, I was like, holy shit, you just quit everything.
I know, but it's intuition.
Yeah. I had it made at the Bass Pro Tour, and here I am, like I lead there, I'm back in the Opens, and I bombed the first day out. Like, dude. You
probably were freaking out.
Oh yeah.
That's like we were staying at Potomac together, right?
Yeah.
And
we did.
And you're like,
that was a hell of a deal. You remember that basement that you like went down into that I swore to God we were gonna get killed by a Civil War soldier?
Bro.
Dude, that was one of the creepiest things. I'm not into that kind of stuff, but that was one of the creepiest places.
I feel like there's a story here that we have to hear.
Let him continue. Let him cook now. Let him cook.
I don't really remember, but I think Hunter got drunk or something, and like I think he had a pretty bad
weird.
I think we all had a bad tournament, and he was like, "Dude, there's like a basement, like a creepy ass basement down there," and I don't know, like man, don't go full with that. Like, just don't do that. And he did, and I don't.
And he did.
What was in this basement?
I don't know. Like, I think he even chickened out. Like when he got down to the.
I
point.
did,
but
I did.
Yeah, I was
like,
did. Man, look, we don't need to know what's down there. Like we don't.
Oh my God.
That's
no, Dakota. Every like I've always been impressed by your work ethic, because it is unmatched, but like it's always been fun to watch your career, especially because like I'll see you have like one bad day out of the 3, and I'm like, that motherfucker, that guy, he's fine.
So my deal is, you can't let a bad moment turn into a bad day, and you can't let a bad day turn into a bad tournament. You can't let a bad tournament turn into a bad year. Like, you've got to be able to just flush it and forget about it. Like, and I kind of got that from like my rodeoing days. Like, that's another story for another day. But like, you know, if you got bucked off, you know, and like you had a bad day, and you got to flush it and get on another one and make it right. Like, it was just, and I never really was very good at bull riding, so that's the reason why I'm fishing for a living. Because if I was real good at bull riding, I'd still be riding bulls. That was a lot of fun. But the reality of it is that's the mentality that you got to have. You had a bad rodeo, you get on the freaking road and you go to another one and you make it right the next day. And I've kind of taken that kind of cowboy mentality to fishing. And like, man, you got to be mentally tough, and you got to keep it together up here. You know, you can't let the bad moments turn into bad days.
Right.
So how do you deal with like not spinning out? Because I know like everybody does it a little bit different, but like Cody was just talking about, like Okeechobee day one, you're like, damn, dude, like I need something big here. And like, just to keep your head in the game and to like have a good finish out of that whole deal, like you find yourself doing like particular stuff to try to keep it on the rails most of the time, or?
No, I would just say that like being in so many situations, like that's the advantage of being in so many tournaments because inevitably things are going to go wrong. So you learn to deal with the adversity. You know, you learn to like just as many things go wrong with me in my day, in my turn. It's just as hard on me as it is the rest of the 225 guys out there. The difference is I've been in so many situations where things have went wrong that I've learned to deal with the adversity, keep it on the tracks, and end up with a positive result.
Yeah.
And you have to keep things in a perspective, right? There's been times where I finished 65th and got the last damn check, and it was a great event, phenomenal event. There's been times whenever I've won, and I was like, man, I could have done better. You know, I've been madder than hell finishing second in an event. You know, like could literally just, I don't want to talk to anybody for a week because I'm so pissed off I finished second. But there's also been tournaments whenever I got 35th and like I was like, hey man, let's go celebrate. Like that's a win.
Yeah.
And finishing 31st at Okeechobee was a win, right?
Major win.
Major win. And it was a good deal. I did the best I could with what I had. I finished where I finished and it all worked out, you know? So you have to keep those things in a perspective. Marty Stone, a couple other guys have told me like, you know, they refer to it as having a professional day. Like that's the difference. That's what separates guys. You figure
getting
out
a
how
check.
To go, well, not even, you just go figure out how to make the best of the situation that you possibly can. Like everything else could go wrong, but you go figure out how to finish 100 instead of 165th. And it's the difference in winning Angler of the Year or finishing top 10 in points or whatever. Like you got to go figure out how to be a pro that day and do the best damn you can with what you have. Like,
so do you find yourself in that mindset versus the I'm swinging for the fences kind of stuff more often than not?
No, I'm swinging. Like,
yeah,
I went and I caught those fish on a damn frog at Okeechobee. Like
awesome.
I quit doing what I was live scoping, which should have been like the safe thing to do. And I was like, dude, it's warm, it's hot. Like I need to go throw a frog. And I went and threw a frog and caught 23 pounds and salvaged my whole year. You know, like I'm always swinging because here's my mentality. Like I know we're going long here and whatever,
no,
but
perfect.
Like, my thing is that so back in the day when Cody and I were fishing against each other in the FLW Tour days, I was so broke I didn't have a pot to piss in. Like I was eating $3.27 meals from McDonald's every night. Like I had to catch checks. Like I had to get a check to go home. So I was fishing for a check. And in that whole season, you can look at my results. I either barely got a check or I barely missed a check. Like I was always around that line. I ended up making the Forest Wood Cup that year at Hamilton. And I got there and I was like, well, everybody's like, man, you're going to be nervous. A lot of things going on. Like you just try to. No. At that event,
you got 10 grand.
No, yeah, exactly. At that event, I'm looking around going, nervous. Like, hell, I was nervous when I was standing in front of a bucket chute with 1,600 pounds fixing to come out of it. Like, that was nervous. There's nothing to be nervous about. Like, I'm getting paid. Like, I'm getting a $10,000 check for being here. Now, I'm going to go try to win this thing. And I finished third, almost won.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. And that's when it clicked for me. It was like, damn, like, my focus has been on catching checks all year, and I've either done it or barely missed it. This event, I focused on trying to win it, and I barely missed it, but I finished third. Like, holy shit. And that's whenever it all changed. And so instead of focusing on getting a check, I focused on what is it going to take to win this event? And I'm going to do everything all week long to try to set myself up to win this damn thing. And if I miss it, I'm going to still be somewhere where I need to be. Like I'm going to be, I might be in 20th. I might be in second. I might be in, 25th, but I'm getting paid because my focus was on here. My focus was like up here instead of being here. And people get offended. They're like, they come to me, they're like, hey man, what do you think it's going to take to get a check this week? I'm like, man, I don't know. They're like, oh, well, that's cocky. I'm like, no, it's not cocky. I'm just not like, I need to get a check just as bad as you do, but I'm not focused on getting a check. I'm focused on winning. And if I miss that mark, I'm still going to get a check. It's just a perception deal.
Shooting higher, basically.
I like that though. That's like I feel like that's like winner's mentality and like why guys are successful. like you're saying, you're super successful on the Bass Pro side of things, and now the Bass side of things. Like, I just think that there's like a lot of guys that are good at tournaments and guys that are just good at catching bass, but like having that in your head, I think keeps the wheels on, especially in like high pressure tournaments or like, like I got to think there's a lot of guys fishing even like the Classic that maybe don't have that kind of mindset, that it's like they're going in and they're just like, I'm just happy to be here. Not like I'm going to win this thing.
Mentality is everything, man. It doesn't matter what walk of life you're in. It doesn't matter what you're doing for a living. It doesn't matter if you're filming, if you're fishing, if you're hunting, if you're a carpenter, if you're a business owner, if you're a nurse. Like, it doesn't matter, man. Like, this up here between the ears is what separates people. Like, it is what it is. That and work ethic and faith for me.
That's awesome.
I have like one quick question before we let you go. I know you got to eat your chicken.
Yeah, man. My chicken's getting cold, bro. Y'all got to come on now.
Something that maybe folks have not heard on any other podcast that you've done or anything else that they would potentially see on the onlines. What's one crazy traveling story you have from bull riding? And then one crazy traveling story you have from fishing? Because obviously you could probably tell 100 different ways because you've traveled a lot doing them both. But just what's one crazy bull riding traveling story?
Just a little nugget.
Yeah.
Man, like, I don't know. They're
Come on, you're holding back already, dude.
This pops up. So, all right. So I'm at a bull riding in Milton, Florida, right? And so like, I don't know how to make this short, but I'm trying to make it short as I can. So the barrel racing was like right before the bull riding, right? Like in most of the events. And the last barrel racer out, man, like she's running down the arena and her horse starts bucking. Instead of like bailing off, she tries to keep riding this horse, and she makes it like right to where the out gate is, like to where the arena ends, and they go down the alleyway in the back, and she falls off and she hits the gate like solid metal, man. Like, we thought she was dead. Like, I think the girl ended up being okay, but like she might have like broke her neck or something. Like, it was a really, really bad deal. Ambulance has to take her off, and she's like, we're all like, man, freaking out. So there's a lot of dead time, and we couldn't start the bull riding until like after the ambulance got back. There's policy for the rodeo thing or whatever. So they do like this big like skit thing. They have like a big dancing competition. They like blindfold a bunch of people, have them out in the arena like dancing and stuff, and like just trying to like just pass time, right?
Yeah.
And there was this one girl, like she's out there in the middle of the dance floor. I mean, she's like getting down, like having a great time. She ends up, and then so like they tell everybody else to get out the arena. She's blindfolded. She's out there by herself, like, whatever. And I'm like, yeah. So like everybody's like cheering and everything. They take, like, all right. So that was funny as hell. Whatever. Fast forward like 3 years later, I'm in Stephenville, Texas. I'm fishing on the bass team there. I'm on the rodeo team there. I'm in college there, and I meet this girl. Like we're hanging out with a bunch of people and stuff, and we're talking about rodeo and stuff. And I was like, she's told me she was from Florida, and I was like, I was at this rodeo in Milton, Florida. Like, I remember when that girl got, and she's like, oh, I was at that rodeo. I was like, you remember that girl got wrecked out in the freaking barrel racing, and that other girl was like out there dancing, doing that whole thing. Her face turned like beet ash red, and she was like, that was me. And I was like,
no way, dude.
No.
What's the chance of that? And so she ended up dating my buddy, and we all ended up becoming like great friends. Used to hunt together and everything. Like, what's the chances of that? Like, such a small world. The rodeo community and the fishing community is so freaking like.
No way. You saw her just wreck herself in Florida, and then you're at a party in college and basically like, yo, I've been to Florida rodeoing before. Remember that girl? Oh,
that's her.
Yeah.
Like, what's the chances
that is
of that?
Crazy.
Crap, wild stuff, dude. Small world, like I said. Her and my buddy ended up dating for a long time, and we all were like really good friends. So it was kind of a cool deal. Just small world stuff. I don't know why. We passed through Milton, Florida the other day on the way to Okeechobee, and I remembered that story, and so that's what popped in my. There was probably a lot more wild stuff. Whatever.
Sure, that girl died, but no, I met her later. She lived.
We thought she died. She didn't. She was good, actually. And then fishing wise, man. This is kind of, I'll tell you a good story. This is a feel good story. So day one, Redcrest didn't make so Redcrest set up at Lay Lake really in my favor. Like, would I beat Dustin? No, probably not. Like, he's on his home lake, man. I mean, like, the dude was on him, But I felt like I should have had a really good event there. There's no excuse for me not to top 10 that event. And day one, I catch them pretty good early, and then I found some bedding fish like on river bars, that were really big. They were really big spotted bass that were bedding like on gravel bars and stuff on the main river. And I was catching some on a red-eye shad, and I was like, man, I want to go catch some of them big ones. Like, I like catching big spotted bass. It's a lot of fun. Who doesn't, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm in 4th place, I think, on day 1. And I'm like, all right, I'm bailing on this. I'm going to go. I'm going to give it a break. I'm not bailing on it. Like, I know this is the deal, but I'm going to go fish up shallow for a while and try to catch a couple big ones while I got a chance just to see how it is. And I get out there, I fish for a couple hours, don't catch anything. I couldn't get some of those bedding fish to bite. And then I go back to doing what I was doing. And before I know it, I'm in 24th place. Like, that format moves fast, and I'm behind the 8 ball. I'm in 24th place. And the day ends. And I'm like, when I got back out there to where it was kind of going down, I break off one, I lose a really big one. Like, I got a wind knot every damn spinning reel I got. Like, it just snowballed, right? And I'm like, what the hell? So I'm in a terrible mood. Like, I'm in 24th place. Like, I should be top 10 right now, cruising into the knockout round, and I'm like, well, it's possible, but I'm just in a terrible mood. We take out, and I'm like getting my boat all strapped down and everything, putting rods up and everything. And this kid and his dad walks up to me, and he's like, hey, man, can you sign my map? I've got a map of Lake here. And I was like, yeah, sure, buddy. So I get on my boat and I sign his map. And he's like, you don't remember us, do you? And I was like, man, y'all look pretty familiar. He's like, you signed his map last year at Guntersville at the Bass Pro Tour event. And as soon as he said that, I knew immediately. So that day at the Bass Pro Tour event, I caught a 7-pounder on a ledge, like on a little spot or whatever, and had a good tournament. I don't remember what I finished, but it was a good tournament. And they were at the weigh-in or whatever, takeout. And that kid was there with a map of Guntersville. He's like, can you sign my map? And I signed his map exactly where I caught that 7-pounder. And he was like, man, he's like, and so I remembered, and they started, he's like, well, I'll tell you what, we got something for you. And so they had brought me a little picture that they printed out a picture of the picture that him and I had took that day, at Guntersville, after I signed his map, and they gave it to me, and he signed it for me. And I was like, dude, I went from being like in the worst, like I was all in a bad mood, just pissed off because I hadn't had a good day. And I was immediately reminded, I was like, this is what it's all about. This is
That's
like,
awesome.
this is what the sport's about. Quick perspective, man. And immediately I was like, all right, dude, quit feeling sorry. Like, this is what's important right now in life, and the sport and my place in it. And it was just really cool to talk to them again, meet them again. I signed his map. We took another picture, and hopefully I'll see him again next year, or somewhere down the road. But you never know who you're around or who you're going to have an impact on. And even when we're having a terrible day and everything's going wrong, you never know when you're going to run into a kid that you're going to have an opportunity to change their life for the better, or it might not be a kid, it might be a grown person. You just don't know. And so that was a story from the other day at Red Crest, that it was just kind of one of those wake up moments. Like, all right, dude, quit being you're very, very fortunate to be doing what you're doing. Make sure you're doing a good job with it, and that was just kind of it.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's a good story.
I know you got to get going, and we don't want to keep you any longer than we need to, but thank you so much for coming on. Like, just getting your perspective on some of this stuff, especially on the tournament side of things, is like super cool. Like, I think it's a little bit different than what we've gotten before from people, or just what we've talked about on ourselves. And just like your passion for just outdoor stuff is contagious, man. Like, you're out there doing it, and it's like, it's fun to watch. It's fun to talk to you about, and hopefully we get to chat about it some more another time. But yeah, we appreciate the hell of you coming on, and hopefully your chicken's freaking delicious, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the microwave real quick. But no, man, I really appreciate you guys having me on, man. I've had a great time talking to y'all. It's good catching up with you. Hahner's always entertaining as hell. Sobi, like, dude, I mean, hey, I'm holding you to it. You're taking me you're coming deer hunting with me at some point in time. You're bringing the camera. Like, I'm serious.
That sounds good. As long as you come ice fishing, I'll come deer hunting with you, but you got to come walk on a lake ice fishing. You drive your beautiful truck on the lake.
You got to drive your truck out there, dude.
Yeah, dude.
You gotta.
Okay.
I like this.
All right. Make sure everybody go follow Dakota and all his socials. We'll link stuff down below as well. But Kings of Bass TV, they're doing a great job of covering him and Tristan kind of on their journey through the Opens. And it's going to be a wild ride to watch the whole thing. So make sure you go follow along. And thank you again, Dakota. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks
and
much,
good luck.
guys.
Good luck the rest of the way in the Opens. We're all pulling for you, and hopefully you get this thing done, dude.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I'll see y'all.
Yeah.
Peace.
Have a good night, man.
See you.
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
That was an awesome guest. Did you like the guest, Cody?
You're muted.
he's
You are
muted.
muted hardcore.
He's still
God
muted.
damn it. Connor, you're muted as hell.
Cody, you're muted.
Unmute yourself. God damn it.
Oh, I had so many more questions to ask.
I know. We didn't want to keep him too long because he had dinner ready to go, but I also
He had to
had
jet.
a lot-
We'll have him back after he makes the elites, dude.
Please do.
Okay, I need to do a quick bathroom break. Quick bathroom break.
All right, quick bathroom break. We got some things to chat about still. But I mean, Hunter, so just break down quick because you guys fished the FLW tour together.
Yep.
Like how is that how you guys met, or did you know each other before that?
No, it was just strictly the FLW tour. So we met each other back in like 2018, and it was strictly like rookie talk. Like we didn't know what was going on. We were trying to make a check. Like, oh my God, like we're in it. We qualified, but we have to make a living at this. And one of us failed, one of us succeeded. And he has done exponential things with his career, and like continued on and like just fished tons of tournaments, like what I wanted to grasp on. And man, the guy has done a lot for himself.
He has
So
to.
when you guys fished the FLW tour, because he was like a rookie then too, right? I mean,
Yep. Same
is-
year.
Okay. So and then after the FLW tour stuff, is that when he went like straight into fishing? What do you know what he was doing after that? Or because you guys probably stayed in touch after that because you were like staying together and stuff.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't really know where he went after FLW. I think straight to MLF type stuff.
Yeah, because that would have been probably
Yeah.
shortly after that is when it ramped up,
Mhm.
when they started doing way more of that. But yeah, dude's had a hell of a career. Pretty cool
Yeah.
to like kind of
Yeah, he's
get
killed it.
the perspective of that, and like just having the balls to just say like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go and do this other, pursue the Elite Series thing, even though I got this other thing that's just
Mhm.
like going really well.
And then being
Yeah.
in last place on day one of the Open, like after he made the switch, like
Yeah.
he was probably shaking his boots.
Talk about digging deep, eh?
I don't know
Goddamn.
when
For sure.
Cody, when did you first meet Dakota? Did you meet him in college fishing?
It was college for a brief moment, but I would say 2018 when we were both
In
like young
FLW.
anglers. Yeah, FLW
Like
is when I
felt
actually got to
with
know him.
Costa.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
so weird.
definitely Costa.
Dude, isn't that crazy? That wasn't even that long ago.
No, it's
You think
not.
about
And
It's like 2017, 2018. So like, yeah, like 6 years ago.
And just like he's saying, it's a small world. I think Connor Graham and I, a good buddy of mine who I fished in college with, we were down fishing the college national championship on Lake Kiwi. Did you fish that one, Cody?
No.
I
I was out of that one.
I want to say this was on the FLW side. And that's when I saw freaking Dakota ripping around the hotel room and blah, blah, blah. And he was like the only one that was from like the South down there that was like, I thought was like cool and like was wanting to talk.
Mhm.
And he was coming out and talking with us while we were having beers, rigging up stuff. All the other guys were like, oh, whoa.
Well, that's because, dude, in
Yeah.
college, though, like all the Southern guys would like pretend like they didn't drink. Remember that shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
all the guys from the Midwest are just getting like bombed and like having a time. And we're like, yeah, let's fucking go. And then like it was like without fail, all the
Mhm.
guys from the South were like, what?
And I remember Dakota staying up late and chatting with us and whatever we were talking. And then it was years later in 2018 when like when I saw Cody and Dakota again at that classic, and they open armed welcomed Brock and I into their Airbnb.
Into the Costa house.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, Dakota was cutting a rug at that country bar. And I was like, damn, that guy can dance.
Isn't that wild? So that's wild though. You
The
guys
boy
met him,
can
like,
dance.
He can dance.
college, basically as a rookie of FLW, and now he's made over $1 million bass fishing.
That's
and
crazy.
like staring down potentially qualifying for the Elite Series.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
How quick that switch can flip, eh? 6 years. That's not a long time for that to all go down.
No, it's not.
Damn.
Dang. Okay. Well, this parlays us into something good. I know it was just St. Patrick's Day, and we were just talking about being at college events drinking. So let's get into our next segment. We like to call What You've Been Drinking. And it doesn't matter if you're at St. Patrick's Day party or at the Super 8 Motel in Menominee, Wisconsin.
Let's go.
What have you been drinking? It doesn't matter if it's an alcoholic drink, Gatorade, water, or anything in between. Ryan Pinkalla, start us out.
All right. I'll say this because was just in Costa Rica, was drinking these heavily and didn't regret it. So I was drinking, dude, they had these passion fruit margaritas, frozen margaritas, like blender drink style, dude. Shit, dog. If you aren't drinking passion fruit margaritas, you got to.
Passion fruit and especially if it's warm out, like, oh.
Dude, it was, and like all the places are like open air, right? So you're like sitting out, and it's like, it's covered, but it's hot as shit. It was like 100 degrees every day. You're sitting there, frozen margarita, just, oh God, dude. Incredible.
So blended.
Oh yeah, blended. If you're going to do margaritas, you got to do blended. Anyone that's drinking a mixed margarita can suck it.
How about on the energy drink side? I know you flew in last night at 1 a.m. What kept you through the day today?
I was today was kind of like definitely a survival day. So I was kind of like, started slow, like it wasn't going to be a big deal. Like, oh, I'm not that bad, like I'll just Celsius, knock that back. Then I get like partway through the day and my ass is dragging pretty hard. And I had some of those Alani ones in the truck and I'm like, I'm cracking one of these,
Yeah.
But then it got towards like the end of the day and I was like, we need the big guns, brother. Yeah. And I went straight for the white gummy bear, the rain dog.
Oh yes.
Let's do it. Like
300 milligrams.
It is 300 milligrams of caffeine in it.
Oh yeah.
300.
Oh yeah.
Straight
to the system. Just
yeah. And here we are. Still rocking and rolling.
I love it.
I don't know. It was definitely a buffet style caffeine dispersion, but it was well worth it. Got me here. But yeah. So that's what I've been drinking.
Hahner, nice. How about you?
Honestly, like Sam, you kind of screwed it up for me, but dude, Super 8 apple juice smacks.
Oh,
smacks.
Apple juice is delicious.
Extra sugar. Like, when's the last time you drank yourself some apple juice?
It's been a while, but I kind of want to go smack some now. Just
dude, hotel apple juice.
Is it coming out of the thing that's all like
straight out of the tap? You push the button, you throw your head down there, and you just gobble down, guzzle. That and I tell you what, this is another one unpopular position that I'm at, but limeade. Man, god damn.
Just pure.
Lime. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I'm going to tell you this right now.
It's still coming.
Limeade. Well, give me a second. Limeade. It's a seltzer water, whatever that. What the hell is that brand called?
I don't know, dude. Why don't you tell us what you're drinking right now?
Yeah. What about what's in your hand? What's in your hand?
Oh. Miller Lite.
Just steady pounders. No big deal.
A staple in the Hahner arsenal. I love it.
So that's it. That's what we're drinking.
I like it.
Limeade apple juice and Miller Lite pounders.
I over the weekend I didn't drink this, but I saw it on a variety of people's Snapchats from my Wisconsin friends from Wisconsin. They were
course.
drinking. They were drinking in a tall, like just in a tall glass, half Guinness, half Spotted Cow, and they called it a Milky Udder or something udder.
Mm-hmm.
But they're drinking. What is that
Mhm.
called? Something udder. Which is half Guinness,
I don't
half
know.
Spotted Cow.
I haven't
and
had
some
that, but it
Patrick
sounds
State.
good.
But I bet it'd be good. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'll bring this. I did not get this, but I took a picture of it so I would remember. But at this bar, so like obviously you know what like a Jaeger bomb is.
Yeah.
So they had at this bar in Costa Rica, it was right on the beach. Like obviously there's like drinks that you would drink just because it's like hot out and they're like good. And then there's drinks where it's like you're here to party and just like I'm here to get annihilated kind of stuff. So they had one there that was like so they had Jaeger bombs on the menu at this place. And then right next to it, they had one that was like their own version of a Jaeger bomb. And like the description on the menu said, this is the evolved Jaeger bomb. And it was Jag, beer, and vodka mixed together.
Oh.
You ever had
Wow.
anything like that? Because I was
No.
like, that
No.
sounds like it would fuck you right up.
Sounds intense.
I should have got one. I don't know what I was thinking, but the same place had the shot 16 shot roulette where you just got 16
What?
random shots.
Oh.
And I was kind of like, well,
Might as well.
you're here, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, I never heard of no shit like that. Beer, Jag, and vodka. And it was a shot,
wow.
I think.
It's intense.
It's like camping. It's intense.
Hunter, would you dabble?
Man, you'd have to
Pour it for
give
you?
me two. Yeah, you'd have to give me 2 shades of the wind, but I'd walk through that.
Good God.
I'd walk through.
I'd walk through.
So,
All right.
but hold on. I didn't finish. Besides the Milky Udder, what I've actually been
Yes,
drinking
yes.
is I've been hitting a lot of Mio energy in the waters. Do you guys ever do that? The
Just
Mios?
little squirties.
Oh,
Yeah, dude. I'm
yes,
kind of
dude.
back on them. I was off.
Yes,
Those were
dude.
popular like 5 years ago. You should get some.
Killer.
They got caffeine in them. They're so good. Just been hitting
So-
the Mio energy.
At what range are you shooting it into the cup from? Because I feel
I
like
take-
when
Just a
When-
quick sip of water bottle, and then I just right on the cap, and then
right on the cap. I feel like that, like when I was doing Mio's hard, like you know, a while back, it was just like long range, fucking dicing it in that little on the water
Yeah.
bottle, you know, like
But they're
2-3
back,
feet
dude.
out, sniping,
Mhm.
if you will.
They're back.
Mio's back. Damn,
Mio's
that's a hot
back,
take.
dude. I'm telling you, Mio's
What flavor
back.
are you on?
Oh, I want it. It's like an orange mango. It's an orange
Oh,
one, and it's
God.
got the caffeine in it because
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like I can
Nice.
tell them. Yeah, it's just
Very nice.
so.
Mio.
Yeah, we can keep
Doing
moving on.
mixies with
Wow.
it too, or you
What?
just going
Where
straight
did
aqua?
you come up with that one?
I don't know a lot. Honestly, I think Augie is what turned me on. Our buddy Augie turned me on to Mio because he's like, he's a healthy guy, and I think he drinks a lot of just like vodka and Mio with maybe a little bit of, soda water or
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
But I've just been just in water bottles, just drinking during the day,
Damn,
just for a little.
Nice.
bit.
I got to get on it, dude. I got to get
Mhm.
on it.
And it's always at the pocket. It's something good to keep in the truck. Just
Yep.
it's at the
That's
ready.
so true. That's so true. Damn it, Mio.
Mhm.
All right, I'm writing
Back.
that down. Mio's back, baby.
Back. Mio, if you hear this right now, sponsor the
You're
pod.
back.
please.
Mio's
We're
back.
the number one outdoor podcast in the world,
They
and
could
we
not
will
afford us.
gladly.
Literally,
Definitely.
Adam Bartusek told us that we are the number one podcast in the outdoors. So,
He did.
yeah, he did.
All right,
are
so we do have a weigh-in tonight, but I failed to bring this up before, and we're gonna post this on Instagram. So anyone that didn't make it this far, that's totally fine. But we did select a winner of our giveaway.
Cool.
And I want to bring it up on here. So we had a really good giveaway from one of our loyal fans, and this awesome musky sculpture, wood carving, I guess what you call it. But you know, Drunkwood Inc. KY, as we failed to mention that was how you correctly say it. But he donated this awesome wood carved muskie. We wanted to give it away for our 100 ratings on Apple Podcasts, and we have a winner. And the winner is Ryan Skinner, R Skinner.
There you go, Ryan.
_12. That's his handle.
Ryan Skinner. Let's go.
So message us and let us
That's what
know.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, hit us up. We'll post this on Instagram too, so you'll get a message from us, obviously.
Hell yeah.
But big winner going out to Ryan Skinner.
Let's go.
So,
and thank you, Drunkwood. That's an awesome prize too. We'd love to keep giving away more prizes, and I think the unique ones are the best. Like, dude, I freaking want a muskie sculpture myself.
I know.
How sweet would that be?
So
Connor, would you frame that in your room? A big wooden muskie.
Totally.
Sculpture?
Yep. 100%.
So, anyway, if we get more cool things from other listeners, we will definitely do more giveaways. I think we're going to be doing some more giveaways at some other like levels of, you know, subscribers or things like that as we get to them. But right now, the other one that we have out there, like we mentioned before, is for fantasy fishing. So if you do want to participate in that, if you win our fantasy fishing group, again, that Horn Dog Maps donated a laser cut map, and I believe you'll be able to choose the water body. So if you're not familiar with that, he does laser cut depth maps of like any body of water pretty much that exists, and they're really awesome. Badass. So follow him on social media too, Horn Dog Maps. Super cool guy, super cool business. We want to support him too, but he's supporting us, so thanks again, dude. But okay, we do have a weigh-in. You boys ready for this?
Yes.
All right, we're digging into this tonight. Tonight's weigh-in is the best Easter candy. This is dropping shortly before Easter. This will be up tomorrow. I believe Easter is next weekend. Does that sound right? Yeah, next weekend already. Damn, things are moving quick. Jesus. So we're gonna be like a week out from freaking Easter weekend here, boys. So we're digging deep, maybe back into the childhoods for some. But we're talking best Easter candy. And I don't know who won the last one. So what we'll do here is I've got a couple numbers here, 1 through 3. So again, this is snake draft style. We'll go through, we'll each pick 4 things to add to our roster. Sam, I got number 1 through 3 on my hand. That's off the screen. You pick first. If you're correct, you can select if you want to go first or last.
Number 1.
It was number 1.
Oh,
so would you like to go first or get the wraparound?
Liar.
If I go first, do I have to do 2 right away?
If you go first, you pick 1, and then you get the wraparound when it comes back to you.
Okay. I'll go first.
Okay, you're going first. And then, Hahner, you pick 1 or 2. And then if you're right, you get to pick where you go.
2.
It is 2, sir. Do you want to be in the middle or do you want the wraparound?
Middle.
Okay. So, Sam, you go first. Hahner second. I get the wraparound. Ready? Let's dig into her. Okay. What do you got, Sam? Best Easter candy. Weigh in.
Starburst jelly beans.
Well done, sir.
Starburst jelly beans. I'm pretty sure
good.
they have the best one, if I'm not mistaken. They're freaking delicious.
They do have the best one.
That's cash money.
That's good. Well done. That's a very good 1-on-1 there. Hahner.
Reese's peanut butter eggs.
Yep. Oh, that's a great one.
You fucking idiot.
I feel like those are both good.
Oh, they're both good.
You dummy.
But I feel like this wraparound is going to be painful, boys.
I know.
Oh,
it's
no.
Gonna be,
Oh, no.
So I'm going
got
back
Peeps in the...
Yeah, I'm going Peeps, my 1-on-1.
Damn it.
Then I
feel like that's a fan pick. You don't even like Peeps.
No one likes Peeps.
No one likes Peeps.
It's the best Easter candy that's available. And then what I got a couple other ones I don't think you guys will pick. So my next one, I'm gonna go with the Cadbury egg.
Oh, what's
the milk
that?
chocolate Cadbury eggs. The pastel eggs, dude. That's my 2 there. Cadbury egg. All right, Hahner, what do you got?
Oh shit!
I know.
Easter Bunny, you
After
come around
Peeps
Menominee,
and Easter Bunny.
what do you got, dude?
Hang on.
Googling.
Googling. Enhance.
Oh my God, he's drawing a blank. He has nothing.
I am. So Peeps were taken.
Yeah, absolutely taken.
Peanut butter chocolate was taken.
You took that. You literally picked Reese's Eggs, dude.
No, got it. I got it.
What is it? Oh my God.
He gone. Folks, I'd just like to take this moment to
Hunter
let you
has
know,
left the building.
today's sponsor is brought to you by the Super 8 Motel. It's a chain motel located all across the lower 48, and it's really a quality motel. And what they lack in Wi-Fi, they make up for with amenities and experience. And I think
Pounders, apparently.
I think Cody is indulging in everything the Super 8
He's gotten
has
into a
has
little
to
too much
offer.
apple juice at the Super 8.
Cody, come back. He's mute. Oh, he's come. Uh-oh. I see movement. I
There's
saw
movement.
movement.
There he is.
Unmute. Cody Hahner is back. It will be a story nonetheless.
I feel like that fell down the stairs pretty far.
Yeah. He's checking for recovery.
It's been recovered. You're still muted, dude.
Unmute.
You have to unmute. Oh my God, this is not good, dude. What is going on over there?
Unmute.
You're so muted.
You're
so. Oh my God.
Do we wrap around? Do I wrap around to me?
I think he takes a blank for that. So what do you got?
Okay. I'm gonna go sweet tart eggs. I love the sweet tart eggs as well. It's another
Sweet tart eggs. Got it.
It's another non-chocolate item, but it is good. It is
Solid
good.
pick there. And then you go back to back here.
And then I'm gonna do I think they're the Hershey's milk chocolate marshmallow eggs. They're like they're like the egg.
Yeah.
They're marshmallow. Every Easter basket always has like that marshmallow egg. They're not like
marshmallow
the best,
cream egg,
but they're kind of
they
classic.
hit, dude. They hit.
Yeah, the marshmallow cream eggs.
Marshmallow cream eggs. That's a good one. I was gonna pick that. Cream egg. Okay.
Man, I feel like I haven't had those in years, like since I was a
No,
child.
dude, that's not a staple, huh?
It is a staple. But it was like a staple. I don't know.
God, dude. That was actually one of my favorite things, not the Hershey ones, but we used to get these ones from a place in Milwaukee. That was like their specialty was making those marshmallow eggs.
Yeah. Yep.
And like, dude, unreal good. And they were like big. They were like almost the size of your fist, like really big. Fuck. I'm telling you, dude, Easter candy hits.
Easter candy does hit.
All right. Hahner's still deleted here. So I'll just go down. So I'm going to go. This one, I didn't think you guys would pick this, but I think this one's going to be popular because I feel like Easter was like the only socially acceptable time to eat Pez.
Oh, dude, Pez was OG.
Dude, like, I don't know if that still is the same, but like Pez, dude.
I have received Pez many, many years as a child, but I think it was only ever at Easter.
I know. Like, why did that never
so
stay?
Crazy?
Isn't that wild?
It's not Halloween. It's not Christmas. It's not throughout the year. No way.
No.
It's Easter candy, dude. That's a straight Easter candy OG.
It is. Straight up Pez. And like, I don't know, like, obviously it's dope out of like the little dispenser thing. But like, I mean, I was just straight raw dog and Pez right out the wrapper too. Like, you know.
Dude, I would love to speak with their sales team and just know, because we can't be the same people in that, situation as far as like we've eaten the most Pez just during Easter.
Dude, I swear to God, I don't know if there's any other time of year that people are like consuming Pez other than like Easter?
That's
Like, tell me I'm
so
wrong. Who
no,
are these
no.
people? I don't know.
Oh,
Pez, dude. Boom.
that's
Count.
that's a wow.
I feel
That's
like
almost
that's a strong 3, but like I felt like I could have got it at 4.
yeah.
You know. But all
That
right,
was
so
strong.
I got one left here. So I knocking Pez off of there. Oh,
Wow.
goddamn. I feel like I'm gonna go with another one that's similar, just for the nostalgia factor. I think I can score here. I'm taking. Oh, I might regret this. I'm gonna take the candy bracelet
Ooh, that's a good one.
because
That's
I
a
feel
good
like
one.
that was the same thing. That was like an Easter basket special. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
don't think I got that any other time other than then. So I'm going with that. Going with like the Easter candy bracelet. Yeah. I feel like there's so much good Easter candy though.
Yeah, it's almost hard to think of.
All right, what do you got for your 4?
Has someone picked just the straight up milk chocolate bunny? I want to say like Godiva makes it. Godiva milk chocolate bunny.
There's like, yeah, the like Godiva one, then there's like Lint, and then there's like I think Dove makes one too.
Maybe yeah.
God damn, dude.
Did someone pick that? The straight up milk
No one
chocolate
picked
bunny?
it. No. Are you talking the hollow one or the solid one?
I kind of am thinking the solid one.
That's good.
God, I think did Crunch ever make one? You know, Crunch has like the
Oh my
rice in there.
Yeah.
Can I go the Crunch milk chocolate bunny? I want to say I'm going with that.
Okay, Crunch milk chocolate bunny.
That because that was way more. That was head and shoulders above just a milk chocolate bunnies when it had the crunch and the little rice.
You're right. God damn it! I shouldn't have said that.
That was gas. That was straight gas.
I feel like the hollow ones are so disappointing, right? You're like, oh,
Yeah.
and then you're like, damn it,
Yeah, you're like
because they weren't good and they were hollow. Like what?
Right? They're like both.
Who's
They're
getting
not
that?
good.
Ain't nobody getting that. God damn.
Oh.
All right. Well, I don't know what happened to Cody, so we're just.
I'm currently logging in to find my iPhone under Cody's account just to see if he's okay.
Yeah, there's some questionable activity happening in the Super 8. Just calling it a welfare check. All right, so let's just run this down. So you had Starburst jelly beans,
Yeah.
the sweet tart eggs,
Yep.
marshmallow cream egg, and the solid crunch milk chocolate bunny.
Oh, that's a strong lineup.
That's an Easter basket right there, boy.
Yeah, that's
Son of a
strong.
bitch.
Run me
All
down
right.
yours.
Well, Hahner had the Reese's eggs, which I feel like was the strongest start you could have had, and then immediately just gone from the
He goes dark.
So we'll see if that's enough. It might be. I don't know. And then I have Peeps, Cadbury eggs, Easter Pez, and candy bracelet.
So strong. And the
I feel like
Pez
that
dude
was
is
good.
so OG. Should we fill in Cody's for
I
with some
think
honorable
we
mentions?
should. We'll give him some honorable mentions here. So we can fill it. So he's got Reese's eggs. We can round him out here with maybe like the Jolly Rancher jelly beans. You know, like they're not
those
Starburst, but like hey,
they were still good.
You know. Jolly
And then
Rancher eggs.
we got to give him some chocolate.
We could give them
Just the Hershey's eggs.
just like the regular, like the little foil wrap thing.
Yeah, just a Hershey's egg or something.
Hahner just said he can hear us, and these aren't his choices, but he's not talking, so these are his choices today.
Unmute Cody Hahner.
He is unmuted. He's just not saying anything.
No,
I
he's
think
muted.
Oh, I don't know what to say. You're so muted, Dan. Unmute yourself, otherwise we're picking for you. All right, Jolly Rancher eggs. All right, we're giving them Hershey eggs.
What's just a horrible chocolate that would be in that basket that we could just add to his
the hollow Easter bunny.
Yeah, the hollow Easter bunny off-brand.
Off-brand.
The
Yeah,
R
like-
Family hollow Easter bunny.
Like the clearance Aldi's hollow Easter bunny. Like the box was open and like the ear's gone.
Or just do some odd like plain popcorn.
Ooh, that's yeah. That is good. Would you eat popcorn?
Plain-
Who's getting that in Easter basket?
I don't know, but I want him to lose this one big time.
It's like Easter Bunny brought me bottled water.
Bottled water.
Like, what the fuck?
Sugar-free Capri Suns.
Oh my god.
Uh,
All right. So Hunter's sitting at Reese's eggs. He just texted me Cadbury eggs, which has already been picked. So you can just sorry, dude. Reese's eggs.
Oh, can
Jolly
you try
Rancher,
Cody, if you can hear us, get out of it and try to come back into it.
something,
Try to
dude. You're so
re-click the
gone.
link.
But dude, what do you do anything for Easter, like any big celebrations or anything, or what do you guys got going upcoming here?
We used to a lot more back in the day, where like all the family gets together and stuff. But this year, no, I don't think we have anything crazy plans. Steph, my girlfriend, has a lot of nieces and nephews. So like we'll definitely probably go over there. And it's kind of fun to watch a bunch of those little kids just legit go on an Easter egg hunt. It just feels like that you can just kind of feel the magic still there, and
Yeah.
honestly, but besides like Easter eggs, or besides like Easter egg, or besides Easter candy, I really get down with deviled eggs, dude. I love deviled eggs.
Like just straight up, like normal, or like are they like a variation?
Maybe some of them have different maybe seasonings on it, or some garnish or something. Like I just get down with deviled eggs, man. I love them, and I feel like they only come out during like Thanksgiving and Easter.
Is it like, to me, I feel like deviled eggs is always like they're so good, but whoever brings them only brings like 20.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or
Like,
maybe not even, almost like a dozen.
Right.
And
But
then-
it's like
and then
it's like the box that's like dedicated to those. Like it's got the special like dents for it and shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, really? Come on. Like let's load up here.
You're like, I can hit 3 of these right here, right now. I will.
Yeah. Like a bunch of times. Like this is not enough, whatever you did here.
How about you? What's another honorable mention food that's not an Easter candy that you're like, oh?
I feel like we kind of do the like traditional like Easter ham party potatoes scenario, like always, which is just like so good. But we like my family has always done like Polish sausage, like that is staple, dude. Like not the smoked one, like the straight up, super gray.
But I bet it's so good.
Dude, it's so good. It's unreal. So like that and ham and like the party potatoes, because we always do like a brunch sort of thing. But dude, like that Easter ham,
so good. I actually think Steph's making the ham this year, making some ham. She's like, she's wicked into smoking meat and stuff like that. She smoked a couple hams this year. Oh, so good. She brines it for like, we butcher some pigs with her family, and we get these big like pork roasts, and you can either make it as like a pork roast or whatever, and she brines that for like 5 days and smokes it.
Yeah.
Oh, smoked ham, dude. So good.
Dude, I've been dabbling. I got to tell you this now, because you'll actually probably be into this one, but I've been dabbling with venison ham, dude, doing like a hind quarter.
Really?
Dude.
Does it play?
I'll get you. Oh, it plays hard. I'll get you on this, dude.
Please.
I'll get you on it, dude. But no, that's sick. Like, because what she was smoking today, right? You said right before this.
Yeah, she smoked some wangs.
Damn, dude.
She's been, now that it's kind of like a little nicer outside, she's like, oh, I'll probably hit that smoker. And I'm like, do it, please.
Unreal. Well, I got to hear how that goes down. It's gonna be good. But
yeah.
All right, let's wrap this thing down. We got a good one here. I'm stoked that we got Dakota on. I hope we have him back, because I'd like to hear this kind of how this season plays out.
Yeah.
Because I think we're all pulling for him. We'd love to see him like crush this elite qualifier thing. And he's such a cool guy. Like he's got a great story kind of behind his season and everything. And kind of incredible that like they're following him this year too, to kind of like see how it plays out. So like crash and burn or total victory, like it's going to be documented super heavily, which is so sick. Yeah. Like I think no matter what you do, like if you have literally people filming you doing it, like kind of your journey, it's going to be super cool to look back on. But hopefully he crushes it out of the park, and we get to have him back on when he's Elite Series Pro,
Yeah. Or in the off season when he's doing some crazy hunting too, dude. Because I want to dive more into that when his I know his mind frame is so bassin right now, but
I
at a
know,
certain time
I
of
know.
year, I know he flips over to the hunting mode, and we'll get into that more in fall. So we're definitely gonna have him back. And yeah, thank you again, Dakota, for coming on. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. And like we said before, it is Bassmaster Classic week. I know we'll be tuning in. We might fire some stuff on social media for that. But if you guys are watching the Classic or having Classic parties, definitely tag Pass the Barb and any of that stuff. We'll share the crap out of it on social media. We'd love to see what you guys are doing, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to do some big stuff for the Classic. So
Yeah.
thanks again for listening to Pass the Barb. This has been a great episode, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.